Hi there, my name is Nicole and I'm going to show you how to use the Editable Homeschool Schedule Spreadsheet. So if you purchased this via Etsy, you will have received a PDF that looks just like this. And what you will do is you will click Copy of Spreadsheet, which you might have already done this, and you're going to hit Make a Copy. And this is going to take under a minute, but I'm going to pause right now so it can do that. It takes a little long because it is a very large spreadsheet. So it took about 30 seconds. It's still going to be uploading all the formulas right now. So things, when you first download it, can take a second to get all settled in. So the video instructions are here, which is what you're watching now. If you have already watched the video instructions, you can go to Get Started. So I'm going to move my face over here so we can get started. So you'll hover over Get Started and then you can go to Index. The index is like the table of contents, and you can navigate the spreadsheet via the index, or you can navigate the spreadsheet via the tabs at the bottom of the workbook. So to get started, you can just click here to get started. We're going to go to students first. So you're going to enter how many students you have. Let's say you have 1 student, and type 1, and 1 student pops up. Let's say you have 8 students. Boom, 8 spots. We're going to do 5 students. And then one of the helpful hints is to add mom as a student if there's anything you need to do on your own, or if you need to be in a group with like one of your younger students to do reading practice or something where your younger student can't do it on their own, then you can join in that group. So my students are Anne with an E, Gilbert, Marilla, Matthew, and Mom. Okay, so once we have our students, we're going to go to the next step, which is term details. It's auto set to 3 terms per year, 12 weeks, 5 days a week, but you are free to change that. Let's say you do 4 terms a year and they're 10 weeks each. You can do it however you want. And then it also, you can change the days of the week. This is optional. You don't have to. Let's say you do loop scheduling. You want day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You can do that. If you do 6 days per week, you can do that. And then you can change them however you want. Maybe you only do 4 days a week. Maybe you do Tuesday through Friday. So you could change those Tuesday to Friday. However works for your homeschool. The beauty of homeschooling is you get to make it fit your family. So then we're going to go to the next step. Now you can always go back to the index and you can always navigate from there, and we can always go back or go forward. So next we're going to make our groups. So here we have all of our students. Now we are going to make our groups. So group 1 is going to be our morning basket, which are the subjects that we're going to do together. So the helpful hints: create a morning basket or a tea time or everyone together, whatever you want to call it for the subjects where you do all together. And then you will need to create an individual group for each individual student if they're doing their own work. So like Anne will do work on her own, Gilbert will do individual work, Marilla will do individual work. Matthew actually will not do individual work. It's his first year, and so it will be Mom and Matthew. And then there are some things that Mom and Marilla will do together as well. And then what I need to do is I need to click and assign people to the group. So everyone is doing morning basket. Anne is in Anne's group, Gilbert, Marilla, Matthew, and Mom, and then Mom and Marilla. So now we've assigned them each to their own group. So if your student has individual work, they need their own group. So you can also give Mom a group if she has subjects she needs to do on her own. So I do not have any subjects I need to pre-read or do on my own, so I'm just going to leave that. Next, we're going to go Next step, double check. So here, I'm just double checking. Yep, this all looks good. So then I go on to the next step, which is enter subjects. Again, the spreadsheet sometimes takes a second, so don't freak out if you click on a tab and it's blank. Just give it a second. There we go. Okay. So it's trying to pull a lot of information and it's waking up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to enter our subjects. Copied and pasted this so I didn't have to spend time doing it while I don't want to waste your time. So now I'm going to assign each subject to a group. So you have your subjects, and then you're going to enter how many times per week you're going to do that subject, and then how many minutes you think it's going to take. So artist study, we do all together. Spanish, we do all together. U.S. history, Anne will do it on her own, and Gilbert will do it on his own. We do Bible together. Copy work, the two younger students will do it with me. So that's what that's going to be. Dictation, Anne and Gilbert will do on their own. And Marilla. Latin, all three of the oldest kids will do on their own. Reading practice, I will do with Matthew and Marilla. British history, Matthew and Mom. Poetry study all together. Matthew and Mom. No, actually, we do that one all together. Okay, so math, because each student is in their own math, you need to make 4 different maths. So math 1 is with Mom and Matthew. Math 2 is Mom and Marilla. And then the older kids will do their math on their own. So geography, we are going to do that all together. Map work we'll do all together. Paddle of the Sea is, actually need to add another group. I want to add Mom, Matthew, and Marilla. Okay. So I'm going to go back to enter subjects. So paddle to the sea, I will do, here it's kind of doesn't quite fit, but that's okay. And then family read aloud, we'll do all together. And then piano practice, this one, each individual student will do it on their own. I'll do it with Matthew because he'll need a little bit of help. So then you are able to assign, there's room for 35 different subjects, and then you can assign up to 29 subjects to one group. If you do more than that, it'll get angry. So don't assign more than 29 subjects to one group. Next, we're going to go to enter our lessons. So here you can see we have artist study. It's pulling the information that we entered. So it's 1 time per week. We have 36 weeks in our homeschool year. So there are 36 total lessons. Okay, so and then we have Spanish. We do that 5 times a week. So we have 180 total lessons. So that's how much information you're going to be entering into this tab. This is what's going to take the bulk of your time. So artist study, you're going to enter what you're going to study for lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and so on and so forth through all of your subjects. Now, if you are using something like Ambleside to make your lessons, you can email me. There is a spreadsheet where you can copy and paste Ambleside's lesson. So they do it horizontally. So I have a spreadsheet that you copy and paste it, and then it transposes it for you, and then you just copy the column and put it where it belongs. So if you are using Ambleside and want to do that, I think that Elviary, they have 3 tabs, and I have a separate spreadsheet that combines them to 1 tab so that you can just copy and paste it there. Or you can just hand type, whatever works best for you. So I am just going to input all of our lesson plans for the year real quick. So I went ahead and put in our lessons for the year. So Monet, you can get as detailed as you want. So you could say Monet and then list out what particular picture you're going to study, or you can just do Monet 1. I'm doing it this way so you can see how they tie together In the later spreadsheets, it's a little easier when they're numbered sequentially than just like Monet water lilies or Monet whatever. Spanish verbs 1. So everything's kind of in sequential order here. You can do the pages, you can do by chapter. You can add narration if they need to orally narrate or written narration. You can add those details here. I'm just doing very simple so that you can see what it looks like in the other tabs. So yes, like again, if you want to assign a specific poem to the poetry study, you can do that. Again, I just want 1, 2, 3, 4 so you can see how it's pulling information in the later tabs. So now that we have that done, and again, you can also see who's taking the subject if you want to remember, oh yeah, artist studies, everyone. So next, we're going to go to schedule lessons. And this is kind of the fun part. I have it so you can assign 29 lessons to a student. Now, this student only has this many lessons, so I'm actually going to hide several of these tabs. You can hide cells in this, just don't ever change the formulas. So I'm going to hide some more. So we're just going to hide some so we can see everything together. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to assign the subjects to the days of the week. So Monday for morning basket, we're going to do Spanish first. Actually, we're going to do Bible first. Every morning is going to be Bible. And you just click the little arrow and assign it. We do Monday through Friday. So I'm just going to leave Saturday blank. Then we're going to do some artist study. This day we're going to do poetry study, trial and triumph this day. We'll do geography, map work. And then let's say I accidentally did Bible here. It will make it red. So here I have too many Bibles assigned for one, and then here I've doubled up. So it does not like that. So we're going to do map work. Again, if I assign 2 things, I can go ahead and delete map work. We're going to do family read aloud at the end of every day. Geography. Actually, I need Spanish. Okay, so I'm going to do that for each subject, and then I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so I've gone ahead and assigned each group or each lesson to what day of the week each group is going to do it on. So Gilbert, this is what his week of lessons is going to look like. Marilla, that's what hers is going to look like. Mom and Matthew, Mom and Marilla. And then I just wanted to show you this. So paddle to the sea, I'm going to do Monday and Wednesday. So as I am entering it, the number here is going down. So if I delete this, so I have one more to assign, I can assign it there. And again, if I assign too many to one day, I can't do it twice in one day. Or if I assign too many, it'll turn red. So we want to get rid of any of the red. All right, so now that we've gone ahead and entered, these are all blank. If I still have more to assign, there should be a number. Since they are all assigned, they are all empty now. So empty, 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 empty. So that is all done. So now we're going to go to the next step. Oh, also you can always click here if you want to go down to Mom and Marilla so you don't have to do all the scrolling. So the next step is students' total time. So if you're just curious how much time each student is spending on their lessons, you can go here. This is by minutes. So total minutes for the week. Mom is doing a lot of work per the usual. I'm just kidding. But yeah, they're kind of all even. 10 hours, 11 hours. So if something seems really off, you can always go back and see why that might be. So then we're going to go, again, this page is for reference. Do not edit. If anything looks wrong here, you need to go back and change the other tabs. Next up is the calendar. This is just for reference only. I find myself looking at a calendar and being like, okay, if we start on this date, 12 weeks from then will be like, and you're like counting weeks and it just gets a little confusing. So I made this calendar. And so what it's done is I say we're going to start the third week of August, 2024. So you can use this spreadsheet year after year. So let's say it's 2025. It'll change the dates. But we're in 2024. So the third week in August, the Sunday is August 11th. So we're going to start on Monday, August 12th. So term 1, week 1 will be starting August 12th. So let's say we're doing our schedule and then we get here, which is Thanksgiving. So we want to take a week off for Thanksgiving. So over here, I'm going to do number of weeks to skip. So when I type a 1 in here, I want you to watch this and I hit enter, it's going to skip that week. So then term 2, week 16 will actually be starting December 1st. Then we like to take off 2 weeks for Christmas. So right here, I'm going to type in a 2 and enter. So it's going to skip ahead to January. So you can kind of just tell it. And then you need to know when you want. So our semester will be ending after 36 weeks. So we will get done May 9th if we take no other weeks off. So then I can look and be like, okay, we're going to take a week off in February. And a week off in April because we have a wedding. So now we're getting done May 23rd. So let's say May 23rd is too late for us. We like to be done earlier in May because we have a lot going on with our garden and just it's nice out. So we want to be outside. So we're actually going to start the second week of August. So this is just for you. This is for reference only. So you can just kind of play around with it. If we take 5 weeks off, we will get done May 16th. Maybe you want to take more time off. Maybe every month you want to take a week off. However your family wants to do it, this is just for reference only. So that way you don't have to get your calendar out and like figure out where is 12 weeks from now. It's just a little easier. So now we're going to go to the next step. And this will also be helpful for the next step. So the next step is currently studying. I'm going to put, so all the information up until now is kind of like you do it at the beginning of the year. And then the information going forward is each week when you want to print out your student's schedule. So morning basket, we're in term 1, week 1. So we're starting on lesson 1. That is where we are starting. Let's say we're on week 2. So now we're starting on lesson 2 because artist study, we only do 1 lesson per week. So the second week would be on lesson 2. Spanish, we do 5 lessons per week. So we're going to start on lesson 6. But let's say our second week, we're behind a Spanish lesson because it was Labor Day. I don't know. I'm just making this stuff up. So Labor Day, so we're behind in Spanish. Spanish, we're behind 1. So once I hit enter, there we go. So it's going to go down starting on lesson 5. Bible, we're good. Poetry, we're good. Everything else, we are good. But Spanish, we got behind for some reason. So then I'm going to go over to Anne. Let's say she did not get all of her lessons done in Latin. So she's behind a week. Everyone else is on schedule. So from here, it's going to take this information and it's going to put it into our weekly schedule that you would print, or if you want to use it just as a digital reference. So now we're going to go to the next step, which is printing by group. So if I want to print morning basket and I want it in a weekly form, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I would click on this link and it will take me to the tab Group 1. Same for Anne. If I want her by the week, then I can just go to Group 2 tab. Now, let's say one of my students gets overwhelmed by having too much information. So Monday through Friday lessons, not what they want to see. So maybe Marilla, I print daily schedules. So we'll just go look at Anne, Group 2. This is what her weekly schedule will look like. So on Monday, she has U.S. history, dictation, Latin, math. Okay, we're starting term 1, week 2. So here we are on lesson 6, lesson 5, lesson 6. So you can go back and look and see what she should be studying to make it should match. But so U.S. history, she is on lesson 3. And just a minute. Enter lessons. For some reason, I don't know why, I messed up on this, so it's not pulling correct. I mean, it's pulling the right information, but I entered our what pages should be. So if we were to go to currently studying, let's say we're on week 1, lesson 1, Anne would be starting everything on 1. So then we are going to go to Anne, Group 2. So she's doing the World of Christopher Columbus, pages 1 through 3, dictation, page 1, getting started with Latin. So they're all on 1. And then the next day is lessons 2, lessons 3, lessons 4, lessons 5. Same for here, except Gilbert's only doing history 2 days a week, so he's doing his on Tuesday, not Monday, so you see how lesson 1 is on Tuesday. Now, again, if I want to go and print them by day, because let's say Anne gets overwhelmed, I can go to print daily schedule for Monday. So Anne, these are currently hidden. So you just hit unhide, and here's Anne's Monday schedule. So you could print this for her and give it to her if it's better than a weekly schedule. If you prefer your kids to have a weekly schedule, then do that. Whatever works best for you and your students. Now the other option, these are all the hidden tabs. So I have 1 through 10 not hidden. If you have more than 10 groups, you can unhide those. You just click on it and it'll unhide it. I don't have anything there, so it's blank right now. And then I have Group 1, which is our morning basket, Monday through Sunday, Group 2, Group 3. So each group has a daily tab and a weekly tab. And then let's say you have a student that's in multiple groups. So we have, let's say Group 1 is our morning basket, and then we have Mom and Marilla together. So if I wanted to see what Marilla was doing with me and on her own, I could do Group 4 and Group 6 together. So Marilla and then Mom and Marilla. I could print this view and it would show me what Marilla's doing on her own and then what she's doing with me. And then the last print view option is 3 groups on one day. So let's say I did morning basket. I want to do Marilla is in Group 4, and then I want to do Mom and Marilla. So this would be 3 groups. Would overwrite data. Interesting. An error here, and that was because I had done something when I was scheduling currently studying. She's not behind. If she was behind, she'd be at lesson 0, which is not possible. So that's what it was not liking. So we're back to group 3. 3 groups on 1 page. So morning basket, Marilla's in morning basket, Marilla on her own, and then mom and Marilla. So I could print this view, and then she would have all of her lessons for Monday on 1 view. So that is an option. So your options are a weekly schedule for each group, or a daily schedule for 1 group, a daily schedule for 2 groups, and a daily schedule for 3 groups. So those are your options. So each week you would go to currently studying and update where you're at. So you'd move on to week 2. And then you mark if you're ahead or behind the next time, week 3. And then as you do that, you would go to the print view. We're on term 1, week 3. It's updated all of this information for you if you're not behind. And then you just print that and you can give it to your student. Or you can have it for your morning basket reference. Now, the last thing is habit training and afternoon occupations. And you can call this whatever you want. You can call it chores. You can call it, I don't know. These are things that maybe aren't assigned by minutes, like 20 minutes a day and 5 days a week. This is just optional. So let's say Anne needs to feed the cats. And she's got to do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because Gilbert feeds the cats on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Wash dishes. And he's going to do that with Gilbert. So you can go through and assign them things that they need to do every day, certain days of the week. Maybe you want to put your afternoon occupations. Maybe you don't want piano practice on the schedule. Maybe you just want a checklist here so they can do it here. Maybe they need to practice piano 5 days a week. Whatever it may be, you can just add them here, and then you can go to print habit and occupations, and you can just print. So they can just check it off, feed the cats, wash the dishes, piano practice, wash dishes, feed the cat. So whatever habits you're working on, you could have them here. Or if the things they do in the afternoon that would be good to put here, you can do that too. If they're working on a skill, or maybe they need to weed the garden, go for a run, whatever it is that you are working on intentionally, you can put it here. And again, this is just optional, so it's not tied to any of the school schedules. All right, I think that is about it. For the next school year, you can go through and delete all the stuff you entered in this spreadsheet, or you can just go to that PDF that you got and you can click it and make a new copy and start over for the next school year. So this is something you can use year after year. If you ever have any questions, you can reach out to me. So yeah, if you're adding a new student the next year, you can just go to 6 and then you can add a new student. And then you can go on from there. So now we have to assign Diana to some subjects. So that is how the spreadsheet works. And thank you for taking the time to watch this. And I wish you all the best in your homeschooling year.